In the Jujutsu world, power can make you a god or a monster. For Satoru Gojo, it just made him an island, untouchable and totally alone. He started at the top of the mountain. Yuta Okkotsu, on the other hand, started at rock bottom. He was just this scared kid, slated for execution for a crime he didn't even get. His story is what happens when that kind of power is built from grief and humility, not just handed to you at birth. To get Yuta, you have to understand that his power is a scar, not a generic lottery win like the Six Eyes. When his childhood friend Rika died, his mind simply couldn't accept it. That raw denial, that desperate love accidentally became a curse. Without any intent, he latched onto her soul and twisted it into a monster. He cursed her. In that moment, he became both the victim and the cause of his own suffering. Rika was Yuta's subconscious rage and fear walking around in the real world. He'd consciously take the torment from bullies, but deep down, his mind screamed for it to stop. Rika would answer that scream, emerging to stuff them in a locker. She was the anger he couldn't show, the power he was too scared to use. Also, Yuta didn't walk into Jujutsu High. He stumbled in, a nervous wreck with a target on his back from the moment he arrived. He simply didn't have the kind of power that lets someone like Gojo go it alone. He needed people. Specifically, he needed the few who could look past the terrifying curse attached to him. Maki showed him what it meant to never give up. Toge offered solidarity without needing a single word. Panda was the loyal friend he could always count on. Bit by bit, they helped him find the courage to stand on his own 2 feet. Maki was his complete opposite. She came from the Zenin clan, a big-name sorcerer family, but had almost no cursed energy to her name. Her whole life was a constant battle for respect, just trying to prove she wasn't worthless. So when she saw Yuta, this kid who was drowning in a power she'd do anything for, she wasn't sympathetic, she was angry. Their training sessions weren't her teaching him stances, it was her practically beating the purpose into him. He saw this girl fighting with everything she had against a family and a system that spit on her, and it finally clicked. He realized he needed to be strong, not for himself, but to be able to stand beside someone like that. And Toge Inumaki knew that kind of isolation firsthand. His cursed speech kept him from talking to people, boxing him into a lonely world. He understood Yuta's situation on a level that didn't need words. Their bond grew from this shared knowledge of being a danger just by existing. These bonds became the handle for that dangerous weapon Yuta was carrying around. He learned teamwork because, well, he had to. Through that, his whole goal shifted. He went from wanting to die so he wouldn't hurt anyone, to wanting to live so he could protect the first people who didn't look at him like he was some kind of monster. While all this was going on, his actual skill was just exploding. Gojo even said it matched his own, but having all that power with no way to control it almost destroyed him. It was a raging storm inside, wrecking everything until he finally learned to steer it. The truly brilliant part is how he learned to channel all that. After he frees Rika's soul, the thing that's with him now is totally different. It's more like a sentient cursed tool, a vessel for his technique and his storage unit for all that energy. The first Rika was a prison made of grief. The second one? She's a partner, born from a bond that could never be broken. Yuta wrestled his own monstrous power into a purpose. He now walks a path that runs parallel to Gojo's, only to branch off entirely. Gojo tried to fix things. He really did. He took up teaching to shield the next generation and bent the rules for sorcerers the old guard would have thrown away. He wanted to raise strong partners. But Gojo was a sledgehammer trying to perform surgery, a man set apart by his own staggering strength and private grief, unable to truly mend the world he stood above. Yuta's different. He doesn't stand apart, he stands with. He pulls people in, fighting shoulder to shoulder instead of acting as some distant protector. This is why they follow him. Not because he's a powerhouse, but because he hasn't forgotten what it feels like to be powerless. He listens, He leads with a quiet empathy that ego can't match. So you can't call him the Gojo that went right. He's the answer to the question Gojo spent his life asking. A sorcerer strong enough to secure a future and kind enough to deserve it. Maybe, just maybe, if the Jujutsu world is ever going to heal, it won't be through a violent upheaval. It'll be through people like Yuta who remember what it means to love, to lose, and to still carry on. Guys, the subscribers per video rate is pretty low here, so if you like the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing, and that was it for today.